Hi, I'm Ray. Well, this is my Forsythia bush, and it's gone pretty crazy, and we know it's the start of the spring when it comes out in the beautiful yellow colours. But it doesn't stay yellow for long. Then it sends out all this green growth, and then it goes absolutely crazy, sends out shoots everywhere. So May is one of the last times you can prune your Forsythia bush, because they flower on the old stems. So if you're cutting off old stems, you're cutting off the new buds. So we need some loppers or some pruners, or even a little handsaw to give this a bit of a cut. So let's delve in. So this is my Forsythia, and you can tell when it's spring because it comes out in this bright yellow flowers, but it soon fades and then sends out all this greenery. So it can be used for a big bush to fill up a gap like this one is being done, but it does tend to grow a bit crazy, and we do need to give it a bit of a prune, a bit of a tidy. So we're looking at our bush, and we're looking for any cross branches. We don't need those. We're going to give those a cut. So any damaged, dead or diseased needs to be cut. We don't need crossing leaves, so ones like this crossing can be removed. This has been a great bush for covering a gap in the fence, hides away the house, so it has gone really crazy tall. So climbing under the bush, we can see all these big thick stems, and we've got like 5 or 6 big stems. So to prune, all we do is remove 1 or 2 of these every year, and then it will thin it out. This bush we thinned out the bottom last year, and it sent out all these new shoots, so it's filling up the bottom. But we need to give a bit of airflow to give it a bit of space to breathe, because it's very congested in there. So we're just going to go down and we remove 1 or 2 of these big branches from the bottom. So these are growing up the side, just covering up the plants underneath. So we don't need these. They're growing sideways, so just giving those a cut. This one's damaged, so we're going to cut that one. This one's coming up the side. This one, slightly damaged there, getting crossing. We're going to remove that one, just filling it out. If we look on the branches, this is all the new flowers that are being produced for next year's. Little leaves growing, that's all producing the buds for next year's flowers. This one here, that's crossing all the other branches. Don't need that one. Crossing all the way across. Getting in there. So if we look in here, we can see just how thick the trunks are, and it just needs a bit of a thinning out. It's just too crowded. So if we look in here, we can see how crowded it is with all these branches. So just thinning it out just gives it a little bit more space, a little bit more area to breathe. We've taken that much off. It's looking better already. Take up some of this top here, thin that down a bit. These branches are going into the neighbouring hedge, so we're going to remove this one, remove that one and the one behind. So this branch is coming over into the wrong bush. So I'm going to go down, remove that one. It's quite a big old bush. I'm going to remove these. And that one. These ones here are going into the neighbour's garden. I'm just going to remove them. And this one's going sideways. There we go, giving a bit more. So here we can just see lots of branches rubbing against each other. They're just going to cause problems. So we're just going to remove some of these, some of the thicker ones, leave some of the newer ones. So here we go, we've taken the top off, we've left the sides because it's just covering up that house, just covers over that side of the wall. We've cleaned this side so the plants underneath can grow, get some light, and we've left the bottom growth. We've removed 2 or 3 of the big branches and we're left with all this to clear up. But there we go. Let's have a good look, see how many big thick canes you're getting from the bottom, and remove 1 or 2 of those as we go. But we're looking quite good now, I'm quite pleased with that. There's a few more that we could leave, that we could take, but it's certainly looking a lot better now. So we removed some of the thicker trunks, took away 2 or 3 of the thicker ones, and then we'll come back next year, take away another 2 or 3 of the thicker chunks, and then that would be great, thinning it out nicely. So there we are, a good job done, giving it a prune while it's still May, and don't delay because after June you're going to be cutting off all the new buds. So one of the jobs for today is sorting out the forsythia, getting it done. Now we're going to have a nice shaped bush, and that will regrow, ready for next spring.